The high-grade Build Divers Gundam Love Phantom. Magee's take on the high-grade Freedom Gundam, clad in pink and black and rocking the spiky sharp aesthetics inside of Gundam Wing's Death Side. Adopting the Strike Noir into the mix in the form of the Love Striker pack, the Love Phantom should be the perfect storm of awesome edgy Gundams. The mobile suit and striker pack are gold tier to the core, but Bandai's cheap and quite frankly lazy approach to the weapons relegate this fabulous high grade to silver tier. Let's find out why. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Gunpla review, and today I'm taking a look at the high-grade Build Divers Gundam Love Phantom. And as usual, if you do want one of these of your own, then check out that link down in the description and get yours at HobbyLink Japan. So here is what the high-grade Gundam Love Phantom looks like out of the box and just snapped together. No panel lining, no nothing. And honestly, what we get is an awesome fusion of Freedom Gundam, Death Side Hell, and Strike Noir. Most of this kit right here you will recognize from the high-grade Freedom Gundam Revive, as that kit pretty much makes up the majority of this kit right here. And of course, that's a really good thing. As for the new Death Side aspects thrown onto this Freedom Gundam, what we've got is those awesome pointed jester feet, some huge spikes on the knees, new flared out pointed shoulders, as well as that new head with that iconic Death Side V-fin. It goes without saying that the proportions and quality of the mold on this kit are top notch, just like they were on the Revive. On top of that, the Freedom, Death Side, and Strike Noir aesthetics all gel together extremely well, and Magee's custom colors on top of that really does top it off. This looks pretty cool, but it may not be to everyone's tastes. Taking a quick flip around to the back to take a look at the Love Striker, and as you can see, this is just a variant of the Strike Noir's Noir Striker. But of course, this time around it's in pink and black. Besides the color difference, the major difference here is that the wings are inverted. They're basically just the same, just upside down. That of course means that if you did want it to look more like the original Noir Striker, then you can just flip around the wings and there you go. Besides that, the Noir Striker's blades have been extended into these fold-out striker sides. All in all, this kit does look really damn good, and that really does come down to the fact that it's based on the Freedom Revive, and the Death Side and Strike Noir aspects just gel with it perfectly. All in all, pretty damn cool. So here is the HGBD Gundam Love Phantom with everything that it comes with. In here we've got that Love Striker pack that we've seen already, 2 pairs of hands, a clear shield beam effect, the side and its beam effect, and finally the beam sabers and their beam effect. What? Are you serious? Not again. So now that's the 00 Diver, the Blastmaster, the Phoenix, and now the Love Phantom. Beam saber handles and no beams. Seriously, is there some kind of beam saber drought going on in Japan or something? This is getting ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. As for those manipulators, we've got 2 pairs in here. That's a pair of standard square peg holding hands, as well as a pair of dynamic widespread open hands. The beam shield effect in here is in a translucent clear and can be attached onto either forearm using this little yellow section. But because it is clear, it doesn't look all that impressive. But honestly, just grab yourself some clear paint and you're sorted. As for the main weapon in here, which is the side, that's meant to be in a grey, but not in here. Bandai seem to have went the lazy cheap route and just cast it in the same pink as the main body of the Gundam itself. And honestly, that looks terrible. But at least the beam effects look good. Or do they? Actually, I might have been staring at this a little too long and now it just looks kind of weird. To me, it doesn't look like a roaring energy beam scythe. This here, to me, looks like Super Saiyan 3 Goku hair. From a distance it looks cool, but up close, a little odd. Finally, this big pink handle here, when not in use, can be attached onto the Love Striker. As for the absolutely pointless beam sabers, they can be attached onto the side skirts for storage, and pretty awesomely, these can spin round and round. Again, thanks to the awesome Revive. Of course, as well as the Gundam, the main event inside of this box is the Love Striker pack, which again is an upside down and back to front version of the Noir Striker. This can be transformed from the standard form, which you can see here, to a flight form by flipping the wings up and over the shoulders, then flipping out that pair of railguns on the back. Stored on the front then are the pair of fold-out strike sides, which can be held in the hands, but honestly, they look a little bit weird as well. Seems in here we just have a bunch of weird pink weapons. So at this point I will mention a negative aspect about the weapons besides the fact that they look weird and pink, and that is we've got the age-old problem of square peg round hole, but this time around it's round peg square hole. So the hands themselves have the standard high-grade square peg, just like you've seen already, but what these have to hold onto is the cylindrical handle of the scythe. So of course what that means, especially with a big heavy blade like this, is it's gonna just flop down like this all the time when it's being held. So found while trying to pose this keeps on happening, and it is an absolute pain in the ass. That goes for both this as well as the striker sides, so that is a letdown. As this is your standard Build Divers kit, that does mean it is based on a kit that came out before, which means we have some spare parts. This time around we've got quite a few pieces of interest. We've got both the shoulders and the head of the Freedom Revive, just this time around in Love Phantom colors, so that means you can build yourself somewhat of a pink Freedom Gundam, just with pointy knees and feet. On top of that, we've got part of its backpack, which is kind of useless, and as well as that, we've got the majority of the beam rifles, but they're missing the handles as well as a couple of other parts, but could be used in some kind of project.
Who's that Gundam part? It's
Valvrave!
Pikachu!
Valvrave? That's not even a Gundam. So the first ever Who's That Gundam part turned out to not even be a Gundam at all. So I have to hand it to you for actually spotting that. So thank you very much. I now know what it is. Honestly, I never ever would have guessed. So like I've mentioned already, this kit right here is based on the Freedom Revive. So that means it goes without saying the articulation on here is absolutely phenomenal. Let's check it out. As for the head, there it is, all the way up, all the way down, full rotation all the way around, side to side tilt. In here we've got 2 joints in the neck, that means we get a small giggity. At the shoulder, there it is all the way up. Of course, you can get more out of that by rotating it around like that, but it doesn't really look right. So this joint is quite simple, so it is good, not great. Full rotation at the upper arm. You're not gonna get any better of a bend at the elbow than that. Standard ball and socket wrists blocked to the back because of this little bit of armor around here. Some very standard high-grade forward and back at this ball joint shoulder. For a high grade, the waist on here is pretty good. There is the ab crunch to the front, to the back. What is in there is a ball joint, so that gives us a bit of side to side. We have full rotation here as well. You need to lift up the side skirts as they, just like with the Freedom, are attached into the lower section of the torso, not onto these vestigial little polycaps in here, which are there for no apparent reason, it seems. Front skirting up, side skirts can flip up, rotate at this section in here backwards. We've got a premium butt flap back here. Magnificent kick up to the front. Magnificent kick up to the back. And absolutely no issue with the splits. Because of the raised bit of armor up here, we don't get a full rotation at the leg here. We've got an awesome yet somewhat awkward looking bend at the knee. Personally, I don't like the look of that at all. That looks pretty weak, but we do get quite the bend. We have a thruster that flips out from the back of the leg. Just grab it in under there, pull it out. That could look a little bit better. For such big feet, there is quite a bit of articulation in here. We've got the upper section forward and back. Lower down here, we've got a bit of down and up. And the toe can be brought down like this. So as for the actual functional movement, that is quite impressive to the front and back, and pretty good as well from side to side. All in all, the articulation on here won't leave you wanting, but the knees can look a little bit awkward when bent. So that is it for the review, and on so many levels this came very, very close to being gold tier. And like I mentioned in the intro, the mobile suit itself is definitely gold tier without a doubt, because it's based on the awesome Freedom Revive, and the same goes for the Love Striker. That's gold tier too, but what really lets this down is just how badly Bandai approached the weapons. The Scythe seemed like it could have been awesome, but it's cast in pink instead of grey, which is stupid. The beam up close does look a little bit odd, but it's not that bad. But the biggest problem, of course, is the fact that the hands just can't hold it. That goes for the striker sides as well. You've got circular pegs going into square holes. And even if you tighten the hands as much as you can, they're eventually going to loosen slightly. The weapons are just going to roll in the hands and rotate, so if you're going to try and maintain some dynamic poses, especially slashing poses, or the weapons held to the side, those are going to droop, and that just sucks. Also, once again, we've no beams in here, and the beam shield is just in a colorless clear. All in all, the weapons are just so lazily approached. This could have been gold, but it's not. However, like I mentioned, The Gundam itself is absolutely perfect, so is the Striker pack, so if you're planning to use this with other weapons or not using the weapons at all, it will always look great, pose great, and is solid as a rock. But anyway, if you do want one of your own, you can check out that link down there in the description, get yours at Hobby Link Japan. As always, thank you very much for watching, make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time.